Welcome back, but in your sitting rooms. So we want to continue from where we ended last time. Let the mask not confuse you, you know me. So last time we had a look at perpendicular lines, and we said perpendicular lines are those lines that meet and form an angle of 90 degrees. We went ahead to draw or to construct a perpendicular from a given point on a line. And we learned that when a line is drawn, line segment AB, and a point is given, say O, and they say construct a perpendicular passing through this point, the steps taken, we saw them. So to just remind ourselves, we said you use that given point as the center. So that with your compass pin here, you place it there. And if the point is very close to point A, then you adjust the radius considering point A. So that you describe. To describe is to draw an arc. So you describe an arc there, and also describe another arc there. That is first step. The second step, we said, you now use these two new points where the arcs are cutting the line, and then you center your compass there, draw an arc above with the radius which is slightly greater than the center here, than point O. So you adjust your compass and make it a little bigger or wider, and you draw an arc above the line and another one below. Then center again there. This time you don't adjust the radius, you don't reduce and you don't increase, and then you draw an arc there and then there. Your line is going to pass, you are going to join from this point to that point, and your line is going to pass through point O. The joining you must be very careful when you are joining. So you can see that our line is passing through point O on line A, B. That was our first thing that we learned on that day. But we also looked at how to drop a perpendicular or how to draw a perpendicular from a point, from a given point X is a given point, and we want to draw a perpendicular to meet this line Z, W here. We want to draw a perpendicular from this point to this line. You remember the steps we took? We said, step 1, with your compass centered at X, which is our point, given point, draw an arc to cut the given line 2 times. Draw an arc to cut that line 2 times. I'm trying out to see, will it cut 2 times? Yes, when you see that it is cutting 2 times, you smile. You smile because you have discovered that it is cutting twice. Even in your mask, you smile, though no one is going to see you. So the arc has cut the line twice, giving you 2 points. A point created at this point and another one here, where you are going to center your compass again. This time, you can reduce, but not very much, or you can increase, or you can leave the radius as it is. So let me reduce a bit because my space is small. Then you draw an arc below the line. And also the other side, you draw that arc. You will see that you have a meeting point there of the 2 arcs that you made. Then you join this point to that point. You join the point X like that. So this, like this is the perpendicular, we indicate it using that. Even this line here is your perpendicular. So, and now this line is meeting ZX at this point. That's where they are meeting, not here. They are not meeting there, they are meeting there. The third thing we looked at was how to bisect a line. We said in any style the line is drawn. In any style, whether it is slanting, whether it is standing upright. So if we are asked to bisect this line or to draw a perpendicular bisector, the steps are that we looked at the other time, that the center of the compass will be at the end points of the line. So you are going to center your compass there and adjust the radius. The radius is the distance from the compass pin here up to the pencil, according to what you have. For me, my radius is from here up to there. So you center your compass there and ensure that the radius is greater than half of the line. Like that, then you draw two arcs, one on that side of the line, another one on that side of the line. And without adjusting, without changing the radius, again you center at Q and you draw the arc to meet the first two arcs. And so this is, yes, we said if you want to be very accurate, get your compass pin and prick at the points where the arcs meet. Prick there. Why? So that when you are joining, your pencil passes through the holes that you've made with the compass. So you carefully join, and that will be a right angle. But in addition, from here, if I'm calling this point O, from P to O is the same distance as from O to Q. So you can make marks there to show that the distance from O to Q is the same as the distance from P to O. You have bisected this line. Now this line that bisects a given line is called a bisector. It's called a bisector. So when you hear of the word bisector, don't say someone is abusing you. That is a line that bisects another line. Now today, we are going to look at, we are still continuing with our construction, and we are looking at parallel lines. Construction of parallel lines. From our P5, we learned that parallel lines are those lines that do not meet. And the reason why they don't meet is that they have the same distance apart. So if I draw a line here, and I use my ruler to draw another one there, the distance from this point to this point to this point is the same as the distance from this point to this point. So if it continues like that, they will never meet. So we say they are parallel. Now, we also learned in P5 how to construct those lines, even using rulers. Like this one I have drawn, a pair of parallel lines. But for today's case, we want to look at how do we construct parallel lines using a ruler and a pair of compasses only. So step 1, draw a line. First step, we are going to draw a line. And I will put that arrow. So I will want to draw another line above this line that is parallel to this. Okay? Please follow the steps. So what you are going to do, you will draw another line. Just like that, anywhere. So when I draw a line there, like this, that meets this line, this one, they are intersecting. We call them intersecting lines. This line is intersecting with this one. I'll repeat that. Now, there is an angle formed here. Get your pair of compasses, center at this point. Are we together, people at home? Center your compass there and draw an arc to cut the two lines. Draw an arc like that. Are we together? Now on this line that you made, just mark a point somewhere there. Mark a point. Now at that point, this is what you did. You made that arc. So at that point also, draw an arc of the same radius as this one. This is my arc, cutting the two lines. So I will place here and I draw with the same radius without changing, without adjusting the compass. So at this point which I created a certain point here. Let me call it K. So at point K, place your compass there and draw an arc. Just there, like that. We shall repeat the process. Now, after you have done that, remember this arc, the radius for that arc, is the same as the radius that I have made with this arc. Now, the next step, you are now going to find the distance from here up to there. You are going to adjust your compass according to this. You see, when I do this, it is a bit, the radius is bigger, eh? It's bigger. So you adjust it. Adjust until it comes to that point. So after getting that distance with your compass, that distance, okay, come and place your compass at that point. And then draw that arc. So after drawing that arc, you now have this point and this point. Join the 2 points. Join the 2 points. And this line is going to be parallel to that one. I will repeat. We said step 1, draw a line. The question is saying construct a pair of parallel lines. Draw the first line. After drawing the first line, then you draw a line, just any line, to join, to meet this line, the first line that you made. We first made this line, now we have drawn that line, to meet the first line that we've made. Okay? An angle is formed here. This time the angle is bigger than this one. So an angle is formed at that point. So along this line that you have made, mark a point. I will mark a point there. At any point, it's not to measure anything, just mark a point along that line. That is where your parallel line is going to pass. This other point that we have made is where our line is going to pass. So after making that line, get your pair of compasses, come to this point. Maybe let me name it O, where the line you made is meeting that other line. So place your compass there and draw an arc. Like that. Are we together? Huh? So you come to this point that you made, after you have made this arc. Remember your line is extending. Don't make this point on top here. Make it somewhere so that you have some space that side. So you come with your compass and place it at that point that you made. Maybe you are calling it point L. So you place the compass at point L and draw an arc of the same radius as this one. Draw that arc. In fact, that's what we call it in mathematics, that we are copying an angle. We are copying this angle here at this point. So we have made that arc. Okay? Come back to this point and get this distance from here up there with your compass. That distance. You can see. According to my compass, it is ending somewhere here. So I have to adjust it so that it reaches here. Adjust it, and it comes to this point. To that point. So with that radius, the radius which is equal to this, come and place your compass here. Your compass pointer should be centered there, and you draw an arc to cut the first arc. You will cut at this point. So where it cuts, you join that point to that point, and you extend your line, and the two lines will be parallel. The two lines are joined like that. So this line is parallel to that one. That is when we are using a compass to construct parallel lines. Now another person will ask you, let us have a question here. Construct a line through point Y parallel to line BC. Construct a line through point Y, meaning that they are going to give you point Y, and that line must be parallel to another line called BC. So they have given you a line BC, and they'll put for you a point here called Y. Now this examiner wants you to construct a line which passes here at this point, that it must be parallel to this one. Here they have simplified your work a bit, because already they have given you one of the lines. They have given you, for example, they have given you this one. And they have given you this point. Okay? So now what you have to do is just through this point, draw a line passing through that point to come to this line. But it must go beyond. So you draw a line like that. It has passed through point Y. And it is meeting point line BC. Then what next? Construction is very easy. You have to, only that you have to use very sharp instruments. So the other step is come to this point where the two lines are. Remember, it is you who has drawn this line. The setter, the examiner, the teacher has only given you two things. He has given you point Y and has also given you line B, C. Now think, what should I do? Draw a line. Your first step will be to draw a line joining point Y to this line, so that you create an angle here. After creating that angle, draw an arc. Okay? After drawing this arc, carry your compass without adjusting to this point, and also draw another arc there. Same thing. You did it here, you are now doing it there. Come back now and adjust your compass to the size of this, to the size of this arc from here up to here. So when you see that that's the required radius, you now come. Don't put here, but put there. Place your compass there and draw an arc to cut that arc. And so it is cutting at that point. Then what happens? You join, and let the line go through. So you have now, you can now see that this line is parallel to this one, and it is passing through the required point, the point that was asked. Construct a line through point Y parallel to line BC. So the line is passing through this point, and it is parallel to line BC. We have constructed. Now someone will ask, supposing the line is drawn, when it is slanting, what do I do? Let us have another question here. Construct line RS through point O, comma, parallel. OP. Let's change this one to A. Construct line RS. So the line that you are going to construct is RS through point A. That line must pass through point A. Point A is going to be given, and it must be parallel to another line that is given, PQ. And this examiner has drawn the line like this, PQ. And the other point A is here. Point A is there. So what happens? Don't say that for us, teacher told us only when the lines are like this. Now they have changed and they made lines again slanting. No. The steps or the procedure is the same, just join. Join that point to the other line with a straight line. And you have formed an angle there. The line has passed through the point that the examiner wants the other line to pass through. So the other line will pass through here like this. But you cannot just draw it, because when you draw it, you may find that this other part is small, this other part is wide. So what happens after you have drawn that? Come back with your pair of compasses, get this angle. I said once you have drawn that arc, don't wait for your hands to cool. Come directly here and draw another arc there of the same radius as this one. Okay? Now what people normally forget is after getting this arc, they do not come back to measure here. They just come here and do this. That will be wrong. Come and take this measurement here. Fortunately or unfortunately, this one is almost the same. Yeah. So after getting that, that's when you come here and you draw that arc. And then what next? This point and that point will give you the 2 points where your line should now pass. Your line RS should pass there. Should pass there. And indicate, show the examiner or the setter that these two lines are parallel. When I'm marking your work, what am I going to look at? If I've given you a point and a line, I'll look at this arc and that arc. So if my question has 2 marks, then you know that 1 mark is going to be for this arc and another one for the line. So you have constructed a pair of parallel lines. We are also going to look at, when we are looking at angle properties, we shall see that this angle here and that angle there are the same. In mathematics, we call them corresponding angles. This angle corresponds to this one, or this angle alternates to that one. Okay, so I want to leave you with some questions, just questions, and you are going to construct your own parallel lines, a pair of parallel lines. So that is a simple activity that we are going to do for practice. And thank you very much for being a very good class. Please always revise, do calculations. The examination papers that we are sending, we shall have time and go through. And you are not going to miss anything. Please concentrate at home. Concentrate. We don't have time. Thank you very much.